Wednesday, October 22, 2025. Sheila implores Deacon to keep her in, while Deke questions why Remy doesn't want his name brought up in regard to Forrester Creations. These two relationships are on thin ice on The Bold and the Beautiful today. Editors have picked all of the featured goods and services on their own. On orders placed through its retail connections, Soaps.com might get paid a commission, and the retailer might get some auditable data for their records. Will and Elektra were at Forrester at the start of the show, rehashing Bill's visit to Luna, which was unnecessary because Soaps.com had already done so yesterday. Observe. Even Will, though, had had enough of discussing Luna. Are these kids unable to talk about the weather? Have you recently seen any good films? Forrester's new designer showed off some old man style at Deke and Remy's dreary apartment, which he intended to wear on his first day of work. By the way, Remy reminded his boyfriend that, "It's better if you don't mention me at work too much." Remy acknowledged that something had previously occurred, but he refrained from publicly stating, "Well, if you must know, I created fake nudes of Elektra Forrester." "Tell me anything," Deke reassured his honey lovingly. Could Remy, though? Was he actually able to? It seems that Deke has forgotten how horrified he was to believe that Remy and Luna were pals. Consider his reaction if he found out that his new co-worker had been terrorized by his partner. In any case, instead of talking about it, Remy pushed Deke out the door, acting as though Hope's brother would be in trouble for arriving late. Luna took pride in her battered appearance while incarcerated and assured her cellmate that she wouldn't betray her. Nor did she. Luna simply sobbed when the prison doctor arrived, claiming that she needed to be released for the sake of her pregnancy and that the ladies on the cell block detested her. After Luna's examination, the doctor called Will and recommended that he visit the soon-to-be mother to have a face-to-face conversation. To find out what precisely. Obviously, Will didn't say to the doctor, "Look, I'm not going to bake a file in a cake for the psycho who raped me." Sheila pestered Deacon to get through this together and return home while they were at Il Giardino. "Daddy, you are sorely missed," she remarked. "And doesn't that always frighten us all?" Even though Deacon rejected his wife, he allowed her to continue her lies, saying that, "The lying and the scheming stopped the day I got married to you." Aside from all of her subsequent deceit and treachery, despite the fact that she had previously killed the therapist and had slain the majority of her family, Sheila stated that she didn't mind Deacon seeing Taylor because she believed it was a step toward bringing him home. If only Los Angeles weren't such a tiny city. She and Steffi revisited the shrink's resolve to leave human Waffle Ridge in Taylor's office. "Are you seeing another man?" When Mom indicated she planned to live life to the fullest, Steffi inquired. As though that was Taylor's only option for moving on. We all understood that her daughter was growing closer to Deacon than appeared therapeutic, even if the shrink assured her that she was not dating anyone. Sheila thought as much too. The doctor told him that she had gone to see Taylor following her husband's most recent session. Toward the end of the show, Deacon said he was shocked that Sheila had visited Taylor. Taylor then questioned him about whether he believed he and his wife still had a future together. Deke was reassured by Elektra at Forrester Creations that he shouldn't be anxious, and she was kind enough to refrain from clocking the sweater he must have borrowed from someone's grandfather. Talk quickly shifted to Luna, as it always does. When Will finally arrived for a visit, Luna said that prison was terrible, as if anyone could expect it to be nice or comfortable. She sobbed, "This can't be safe for our child, and I'm under so much stress." It was difficult to determine if Will was feeling queasy or was just buying her gibberish. At Il Giardino, the familiar smell of espresso and garlic filled the air. Sheila Carter sat across from Deacon, her eyes wide and wet, her hands reaching across the table for his. "Deacon, please," she whispered. "Don't shut me out. We can fix this. We can fix us." Deacon pulled his hands back. "Sheila, we've been through this. I can't keep living in chaos. Every time I think we've turned a corner, something explodes. You lied. You schemed. You scared the hell out of everyone I care about." "I stopped," Sheila insisted, her voice trembling. "The day I married you, I stopped all of that. I became someone new." He laughed bitterly. "Someone new? You shot your own son, Sheila. You terrorized half of LA. The only thing you've changed is the way you smile when you're lying. Sheila's lip quivered. I know I hurt people. I know I hurt you. But you make me want to be better, Deacon. Please, don't give up on me. Deacon looked away, his jaw tightening. You're not afraid of losing me, he said softly. You're afraid of being alone. Her eyes flashed, and for a heartbeat, the monster inside her flickered to life. Maybe you're right, she whispered. But I'm not the only one afraid of that, am I? At Taylor Hayes' office, Steffi perched on the couch, legs crossed, watching her mother with the scrutiny of someone who'd learned that love always comes with consequences. So, Steffi said finally, you and Dad really over this time? Taylor smiled faintly. Yes, sweetheart. I think we've both finally accepted that chapter is closed. Steffi tilted her head. And there's no one else. No mystery man. Taylor laughed softly. Steffi, not every woman needs a man to move on. Steffi smirked. Says the woman who's been getting awfully cozy with Deacon Sharp. Taylor froze, caught off guard. Deacon and I are friends. That's all. Friends who see each other every day. Friends who talk about their feelings. Steffi teased. Taylor rolled her eyes. You sound like Brooke. God forbid, Steffi said, laughing. But Taylor's laughter faded as soon as Steffi left. Alone in the quiet office, she felt the warmth creep into her cheeks. She didn't want to admit it, not even to herself, but Deacon made her feel something she hadn't felt in years. Something real. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Forrester Creations buzzed with its usual after-hours magic, the kind of low light and soft music that turned the workplace into a confessional. Deke stood awkwardly near the fabric table, smoothing his borrowed sweater while Electra looked over sketches. Relax, she said gently. You'll be fine. He smiled sheepishly. You say that like you haven't met me. Their laughter came easy, until Luna's name entered the conversation as it always did. I still can't believe she's pregnant, Deke said, shaking his head. Guess drama runs in this town's DNA. Electra's smile faltered. Yeah, she said softly. It does. There was more she wanted to say, but the words died on her tongue. Meanwhile, in the grey sterility of the prison visiting room, Will arrived once again. His footsteps heavy, his expression unreadable. Luna looked up as he entered, her eyes instantly flooding with tears. Will, she breathed. You came. He sat across from her, folding his arms. The doctor called. I'm under so much stress, she said, her voice shaking. This place. It's eating me alive.